So, I gave Jeremy the see-through glasses because he usually struggles with blinds. So I figured.
Hey, welcome to Super Social Club. I'm Jeremy.
This is Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob.
Welcome to the Whisky Rant Podcast.
It's a little crusty,
It's frustrating.
and it's gonna be a little bit of a rant.
I don't understand it. I don't know why.
Some sort of injustice.
Anyway, end rant.
Hello and welcome back to the Whisky Rant Podcast. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Rob.
And tonight we are starting a series on what is the best 18-year-old Scotch. We have assembled 10 bottles of 18-year-old whiskey here.
Gonna do them semi-blind.
Semi-blind.
And we should let these guys know that this is what we were able to compile without having to go out and buy a bunch of new bottles.
Yeah, sure. This is what we have in our collection.
Yeah.
So we decided, hey, we got a bunch of 18-year-old Scotches. Let's see which ones out of this we think are the best.
Would it have been great to have the Bunnahabhain 18 and the Balblair 18?
Oh, yes. There's so many good 18-year-old Scotches out there, of course.
But
you can't buy everything.
You can't buy everything.
This is what we
So,
got.
This is what we have.
So this is the selection for this one. You can check out some of our other videos. We've done 18-year-old Scotch rundowns before
sure.
with other bottles. You can get our opinions on this. But for now, we're doing this. We're doing it semi-blind. So what we have done is we have separated these into 3 categories. So each time we record a Whiskey Rant podcast, we're going to do a little episode like this, and you'll see it all edited at the end.
That's right.
So we've broken it off into 3 episodes. It will be
3 episodes, 3 tiers. Winner advances to the final round, which will again be 3 bottles.
sure. So let's tell them what we got. What do we got going on here?
We got the Glen Scotia 18-year-old.
Yes.
This is from
2021.
2021.
Yeah.
The newest Ledaig 18.
Nice.
A Macallan 18-year-old triple cask.
Triple cask. Yep.
The 2021 Springbank 18.
Nice.
Ancnoc 18 from a while ago.
Yeah, I think this one's probably a 2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Glenallachie 18 from last year, I want to say, so 2022 or maybe 2021.
Mm-hmm.
The newest Old Pulteney 18.
Yeah.
The newest Glendronach 18.
Ooh, Glendronach back on the market with 18-year-old Scotch.
Yeah. The 2022 Longrow 18, which I just acquired not that long ago. And the darker, probably 2020 or 2021 Arran 18. It's lighter now, but I have a few of these, so we open a new bottle.
Dark one. So an amazing lineup of whiskey. I mean, you could not complain about what we got in front of us right now.
I'd die happy if I had a case of multiple cases
Right?
of these
Yeah.
for the rest of my life.
Right? It's all you need.
Yeah, that's all
you
I need. That'd be fun.
So we randomly selected this into 3 parts, right? So we were doing 4 bottles one night, then 3 bottles, then 3 bottles. The winner from each night is going to advance to the final.
Yeah.
We poured each other's samples. We don't know of the 4 we're doing tonight which one is which,
Right.
but tell them what 4 we're doing tonight.
So tonight, category 1 is Old Pulteney 18, Longrow 18, Glendronach 18, and Glen Scotia 18.
Right, so we just randomly selected which would go in each category, and these are the 4 that came out tonight.
Now we know that, when the Ledaig category comes up, we're gonna know which one's Ledaig right away. It's the only heavily peated one here. I know Longrow 18 is supposed to be, but it's not anywhere near as peated as this Ledaig.
That's why we're calling this one semi-blind. We could have done this other ways, of course, to be more blind, but it's just the 2 of us down here, so it's got to be this way.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'll tell you what, one of these is a Glendronach, and I think they're all good, so therefore I think the Glendronach is good.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised that the Macallan is holding its own against these, to be honest with you.
Macallan's in this lineup? Sorry, you reminded me of what
No, you're right. It's not.
I was going to say, I'm like, one of these is Macallan? I'm like, oh, I'm so wrong about everything.
That's my bad.
I'm like,
it's
what?
Old Pulteney, Longrow, Glendronach, Glen Scotia.
Right.
I was wondering, I'm like, there can't be a Macallan. These are all too good to be Macallan. Wow, this is going to be hard. It's hard to rank. I think I have my number 1, but it's hard to rank the others. All right.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to go least favorite to first favorite?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go, what's your least favorite one?
My least favorite is this one over here, which I feel like might be the Glen Scotia.
Ooh.
Which is, yeah, I'm right. It's the Glen Scotia.
What number?
So that is number 1.
Oh. My least favorite is number 7.
So your least favorite was the old Pulteney.
Oh.
Yeah, we both ranked Glendronach 3.
This is Glendronach?
Glendronach.
Okay.
Yeah, so we both did that.
That one I feel like I could tell. It was Glendronach.
Okay.
What's your second favorite then? Favorite.
Second favorite, I think, is the old Pulteney, which is number 7, which I'm right.
Okay. And I said that it was, I think we have the same number 1. Because I said my second favorite was number 1, which is
the Glen Scotia.
Glen Scotia. Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, so we
both picked number 9, right?
So we both picked number 9 as our favorite, which is the Longrow. Cheers.
Cheers on that. The Longrow 18 is going through.
The Longrow 18.
Yeah, I think for me the Longrow 18 presented the most like complexity. It had a lot going on with it.
There is a little bit of a peat element to the Longrow 18 that stood out.
Yeah.
And these types of things stand out more in blinds than they do in just like your standard like sipping.
Yeah.
Because although I've been telling everybody how great this is.
Yeah.
Right? That being said, in a blind where there's 3 other non-peated whiskeys, it's going to stick out the most.
All right. Well, join us next time and we'll be bringing you the next round of categories and we'll go on from there. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
All right, back with our bracket number 2 here. So we have Macallan 18, triple cask, Ledaig 18, and Ancnoc 18.
Yeah, so both of these are 46%. I think the Ledaig is 46.3, as they usually are in Tobermory. Yeah, 46.3. The Ancnoc, I think, is 46 on the dot, and then the Macallan is,
43.
as you would know, 43. So I'm just going to do a little roll here.
Yeah, obviously semi-blind is very, very, very semi-blind with...
Yeah, when you have one peated whiskey, we talked about this in the first bracket, like one's going to stand out a little bit more than the other. So it's really important that like you probably drink the non-peated ones first. Right?
I mean, they're so obvious. Like I know this is Ledaig, this is Macallan, this is
yeah, it's hard to
Ancnoc.
On the nose, it's really easy to pick it up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we could have really put together 3 easier ones to nail. But that's not really the point of this. We're not just like trying to guess what they are. We're trying to see what one we like the most.
That's right.
I mean, the Ancnoc versus the Macallan would be an interesting head-to-head, right?
You know, it's possible that I mess up. No, it's not possible, actually. I know which one's which. This actually is a little bit of a testament to how good this triple cask is. Because
it is actually pretty solid.
Maybe it's my head, but I do notice the viscosity difference between the Ancnoc and the Macallan.
100%.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I need to drink anymore.
You know where you're at?
Yeah.
Where you're scoring?
Yeah.
This is my guess on what your order is.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm there. I'm with you. But for like, it's a draw for these two.
You know what? You're right. And it's like it's more of your mood. Like, what do you want at the time? Do you want a peated whiskey or you don't? You.
Okay. So I guess you want to do your quick reveal here and.
Yeah, I would say that this glass would be my first choice going through.
Okay.
And it is the Ledaig.
Yeah.
And then I would say this would be my second choice going through, and I think it's the Ancnoc, and it is. And then Macallan third. And for me, I think the reasoning was just flavor the most with the Ledaig.
Yeah.
The Ancnoc, I love the Ancnoc. I think it's a great whiskey. For a sherry profile, heavier sherry than the others. It's great. And the Macallan, more delicate, of course, but it just, the viscosity is not there.
Yeah.
And the ABV, you can tell it's a little bit lower.
But I think these two are a tie for me.
Okay.
Like it literally depends on what day I would want. Like some days I'm gonna want peat.
Yeah.
Some days I'm not gonna want peat. That is such a great option. As a non-peated 18-year-old, like I honestly believe that might be the best unpeated whiskey in the entire group.
Ooh.
But there's no way to like prove that.
Yeah.
Right. But I honestly believe that the Ancnoc might be the best unpeated version, and I think the way it's boiling down is a peated whiskey is gonna probably win.
Perhaps.
Right? We have the Longrow one in the first bracket. So now the Ledaig's going through. I should make sure here. Yeah. So my Ledaig and my Ancnoc are my 1 and 2 or 1 and 1, and then in third place is the Macallan.
All right, so you have it. Ledaig 18 moving along. The Ancnoc a close second, and Macallan's not going to compete with these. Not in this house.
No, I honestly I wonder where it would have stood up in the last bracket. Probably not very well.
No, it's never going to stack up to what we have. The other 9 bottles are just way too much.
You know what
better.
I find it's like the third sip. Like you really feel the viscosity difference between the chill filtered whiskeys and the unchill filtered whiskeys.
Yeah.
Around that second, third sip, because like it's noticeable.
Yeah. All right. Well, join us for round 3 next. All right, on to round 3. So now we have the Arran 18, Springbank 18, and the Glendronach 18. What's the year on the Springbank 18?
That is a 2021.
2021.
Yeah.
In case you're keeping track at home.
Yeah.
And again, we're doing this semi-blind. Obviously, this is going to be another easy one to determine which whiskey is which, and I think
it might not be. This one actually might be a little bit more tricky. I mean, one of them is quite obvious, and the other are less obvious.
Yeah, I think this is going to be between it's going to be interesting what we prefer between the Arran 18 and the Glendronach 18.
Yeah.
So I feel like the profile, although different, obviously, maybe more similar than 2 other pairings that we've done so far. I'm trying to be very subjective as far as obviously the Springbank 18 was there.
Yeah.
But this was one Springbank 18 that you didn't find it was overly amazing.
When I reviewed it, I didn't love it. So
Yeah.
it would be interesting if it comes out on top now because it's blind.
Yeah. But you think Glenallachie and Arran? I don't know. I like them really. I like them a lot. Both are really good.
I think so. I will say that the Springbank seems to have opened up and come around a little bit. It doesn't have any off-putting notes that it used to. But you could see it almost flirts with this off-putting note, and then it just kind of goes away before it pops its head out.
See, for me on the nose, the Springbank is by far the best, but on the palate, it doesn't keep up with the nose, in my opinion.
I agree.
There is something a little off with this 18-year-old Springbank. Is it?
The palate's a little off.
Yeah.
It's almost sulfured. I think that's the best way to put it. It is sulfured, but it's just it's just on the palate, so you don't notice it as
there's
much.
this weird metallic kind of note I get to it, and it's this alkaline weirdness going on.
Yeah. Are yours set in place?
Yes.
Okay. So this one over here is my number 1. I'm pretty certain that's the Arran. Number 2 is the Glendronach, and number 3 is the Springbank.
That's in your. So is that your preference, or is
That's
your
my
guess?
preference.
Oh,
That's my
okay.
preference.
But you don't know.
I don't
That's
know
what you
for
think
sure.
it is. Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. So, oh wow. So, number 2. Hold on, maybe I misplaced these.
Number 2 is the Glendronach. And now you're saying that was your favorite, and you thought it was the Arran.
I thought that was the Arran.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to say this is my favorite glass, which I think is the Arran.
Okay.
My second favorite would be this glass, which I think is the Glendronach. And my third favorite would be this glass, which I think is the Springbank.
Okay.
So my favorite is number 2, which is the Glendronach.
Did we mispour something?
Weird. That is weird. And then this one is obviously the Arran.
So maybe I didn't. Okay, let me just...
Yeah, and then number 1, obviously, the Springbank. So yeah, I thought that the best one was the Glendronach, which I thought was Arran. But wow, the Glendronach coming through. I swear this one was the Glendronach because it had that Glendronach kind of metallic note to it. Because I did the same thing as you, thinking it was correct. Interesting. There it is. Glendronach was my favorite. I thought it was the Arran. It was not.
And it was the finish that really drove me to the Glendronach, which I did not expect.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest.
And Springbank, obviously we are 2 huge Springbank fans, but we're really straightforward. When a Springbank doesn't deliver, we will 100% say it. We're
Absolutely.
not that loyal fanboys that
No.
we're just going to pick something when it doesn't come up to par.
Exactly.
But yeah, on the nose, the Springbank definitely is my favorite, but that finish on the Springbank, there's this weird note to it.
Something
It's
odd about
almost like the bottle's been soured,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. It was like that from the beginning. But yeah, very interesting. All right, so the Glendronach, is moving through to
Yeah.
the finals, which you guys will see right now. Cheers. All right, so we are at the finals, represented by the surprise Glenallachie 18, the Longrow 18, and the Ledaig 18. One cool thing, I guess, how this worked out, we were pretty much agreed on every single bracket.
Yeah.
We each had the same winner advancing forward.
Yeah, I had a tie for the Ledaig and the Arran, or the Ancnoc 18.
Okay, right.
Remember?
Yeah,
That was it.
right. But yeah, here we are in the finals.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get at it. Again, these are, like, the thing about doing blind is like it's what you prefer that day, that moment in time, right? Like we could do this blind many different times or many different days and perhaps have different results. You know,
Yeah.
Are you feeling a peated whiskey tonight? Maybe you're not.
Maybe not. I'm really impressed with this Glenallachie. Like, it's still remaining from the last round. I just took another sip of it. It's shocking
Yeah.
how much I like that. And how like the finish. Because I always thought like I liked the 15 Glenallachie more than the 18 Glenallachie.
Yeah.
But that finish is like really long lasting.
Yeah, I mean, it surprised us. It's a very good whiskey, and I mean, it's not like crazy available, is it?
Mm-mm.
It's a rarity to find an 18.
They don't release it as often as the 12 and the 15, right?
Mhm.
My comments on how I feel about the Ledaig, I feel like it's a little shallow on the palate. Like, you know what I mean by that? Like, it's a little thin,
Yes.
right?
I mean, they're all delicious,
This is a tough one.
for sure.
Because it does matter how much you're feeling one of these for me, it's this. Okay, so I don't know for sure that, I know that this is my number one here. So now it's between what's second and
I don't know,
what's
this
third.
Glenallachie though.
That's, yeah. The Glenallachie is really good. The finish on the Glenallachie is excellent. That's where it won. That's how it won the last round, right?
Yeah.
The Glenallachie deserves extra credit because it's the only one that we actually labeled
That's true.
and won,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
we thought for sure.
The other ones that we
Yeah.
advanced, we knew what they were. This one, the Glenallachie, we didn't.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, I do know what these are for sure.
Yeah, these are easier. They're all good. That's the problem. Is on any given night, I would want to pour any one of these for a different occasion, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I think this boils down to for me, which one when I'm going out to pick an everyday whiskey, which one is my most pour and play kind of whiskey.
Yeah.
That's how it's boiling out for me.
I got mine.
Yeah, I think I do too. So my number one is this one here, which I believe is the Longrow 18.
Okay. And is it?
One.
One is the Longrow 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number two, I picked the Glenallachie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the Glenallachie.
Yeah.
And then the Ledaig. The Ledaig, I really like. I just think, I don't know if I want that kind of level of peat every night.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the Longrow has a good amount of peat, but it's not enough. Like, it doesn't feel like you took a bite out of like a flaming tire.
Sure.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, I 100% get that. Yeah, for me, honestly, I went back and forth between the Glenallachie and the Longrow, and it's gonna be the Glenallachie for
No
me.
way.
I'm gonna say that this is the one that I prefer out of these three as of right now.
Yeah.
And number three, yeah, of course, that's the Glenallachie, and then my second favorite would be this one, which I think is the Longrow,
No way.
which it is.
I'm surprised that you agreed with me with the Ledaig in third place. I thought for
Ledaig in
sure
third
you
place.
were gonna put that in the
Yeah, obviously it's back and forth, but I just think what I'm getting from this Glenallachie right now, I'm absolutely loving it. And of course the Longrow is an exceptional whiskey as well. But for tonight, for this tasting, it's going to be the Glenallachie for me, which is
Yeah.
a shocker because I thought this would just run away with it.
Right.
100% because it's amazing.
So now here's a tough thing, right? It just beat out how many whiskeys? So it beat out 9 other whiskeys.
Yeah, we had 10 total.
So 10 total.
Yeah.
So out of 10 whiskeys, that Glenallachie was one. For me, it was 2, and this was 1, and for you, it was 2.
Yeah.
So what are we scoring these whiskeys? Like, can we do that even? Like, who you show?
That's tough.
Right?
Because if we scored every single one of these individually in individual review, the Glenallachie probably wouldn't get the highest score.
No.
And that's the crazy thing about doing blinds, right?
Yeah.
It's like I said, it is about like what you're feeling that particular time.
And it could just be like, this has had a long time to open up.
Yeah, the bottle's like, it's a quarter left.
Yeah, so maybe this just needed all that time to be like, when I reviewed it, I think I gave it like an 88 or an 89. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't have pegged it to come in second. I think if I had to, I assumed that the Arran would be in the top 3.
Yeah.
I assumed that the Ancnoc would be like up there as well.
Yeah.
Now, maybe on a night where let's say we lined up the Glenallachie versus the Ancnoc and the old Pulteney, would the Glenallachie still be here? Who knows?
That's
right?
true. It also depends exactly where they fell, right?
Yeah.
Like what went head to head, because there's been so many good ones,
Maybe the Glen Scotia, like if you just did all, all in one night, maybe the Glen Scotia would have been higher on your ranking.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, really good. Leave us a comment down below. Of the 10 that we did, what's your favorite? And of these 3 finalists, have you tried them? What one would you prefer?
Yeah.
It's an interesting semi-blind. Obviously, we knew which one was which, but yeah, no, interesting for sure.
I think the biggest shocker for me, though, is the fact that the Glenallachie made it to the finals and then beat out something in the finals as well.
Absolutely.
You picked it as your number 1, and I picked it as my number 2.
Yeah, no.
And it was right there. Like, the finish on the Glenallachie is arguably better than the Longrow finish. So that could have swayed me as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Very tight.
It was an interesting one.
And what's the best 18-year-old Scotch you've ever had? Write us in the comments down below. Love to hear your opinion on that.
What do you think yours is? Is it still the, like me, the Lafroig 18?
Probably. That green tin.
Yeah, the green tin.
That was so good.
It was amazing. I think I would have to retry it, though. It would have been nice to be able to do it on, like, in this bracket.
I would say that one, some older Macallan 18s were really, really good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
That's a standout for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. Really much appreciated. Have a good one.
Cheers.
Cheers. Rundown for
Fun.
what are we calling this thing?
We're calling this the 18-year-old battle to the death. No, I don't know.
What is the best 18-year-old Scotch rundown for the crown? What was they calling it again?
Battle to the death.
Battle to the death? I totally forgot what we just fucking decided on. Fuck. Should we start over and think of a name of this fucking thing?
What are we calling it?